Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am KUURA'S, and welcome to my first ever official stream, where I'm not pre-recording any segments, I don't have any news to cover, and oh boy, I actually didn't even think I'd make it this far, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, true, I've danced with the idea of streaming every here and there, but I always talk myself out of it in one way or another, so I figured, well, you know what, I may as well do it before I get the chance to talk myself out of it. So, welcome! I'm glad you guys are all here, even the few viewers that are here with me right now. We are still relatively picking up steam. I decided to start just a little bit early just to start the nerves and kind of get everything going. Wait, see. Turns out it was all pre-recorded. Oh yeah, yeah. You guys haven't seen all the uncut versions that I end up not that I don't post, where I trip over myself like 3 or 4 times. That's the joy of that. That's why they always sound so great, is because that's like the second or third cut, and the first one I always trip over myself too many times. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start over and do it. But in 3 years of doing that, I've kind of picked up on that just a little bit better. So, you know, it comes with practice, I guess. But yeah, you know, gotta keep that air of mystery somehow. But with that though, I do want to take a minute and just say officially, welcome. You know, as a way to say thank you for stopping in on the stream, as well as taking your time to come and stay with me for a little while. The general itinerary I have for today is going to be relatively light. Again, mostly as I'm waiting for folks to kind of clamor on in and everything. I'm going to spend the first chunk of the stream, I guess, just kind of doing a general debut and introduction, since I think that's what a lot of big streamers and content creators do when they start streaming officially. So figured I'd just take some time and talk about myself, just a little bit about me, what to expect here on the channel if you guys are new to the MNN, or even if you guys just stopped in for the stream. Might take just a little bit of a break after that, some casual conversation here and there for some basic chatting. And after a brief intermission while I'm finishing setting up, I'll go ahead and start the game, and we can go ahead and get started from there. I am honestly really excited for the game. This is a game I've basically grown up with through my childhood, and it's the sole reason that I love the steampunk aesthetic as a whole that inspired my design and my theme. So I'll get to that, of course, when I do. But again, I do want to take a moment and say thank you so much for stopping in, for those that already have, or for those that are just now coming in and saying, dropping in to say hello. I'm always happy to have you guys. The doors to the workshop are always open. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, I suppose. Let me shift myself over here briefly. Out there, so okay, let's go ahead and get started. So, I'm just going to start with a little bit of information about me, who I am, and what I do. My name's KUURA. Nice to meet you guys. If you guys have been with me for a while, this is kind of already obvious information, but I guess I can call it. Date of birth, Pi Day. I really can't say it any simpler than that. Funny story about that, I actually didn't realize that joke until like, I don't know what it was, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think, when I actually picked up on the 314 joke. And I always make a chance to capitalize on that joke now wherever I can, because it's easy to recognize, I guess. And I'm still kicking myself to this day that I could have milked that joke for every year I've been alive since then, but, you know, live and learn. But yeah, it's always a fun joke I like telling people, and they say, what's your birthday? I say, oh, it's Pi Day. And I just watch that moment of confusion on their faces. They have to stop and think about it for a minute. But then after they think about it and realize, like, oh yeah, I get it. That's a fun joke. So I always enjoy that little moment of joy with people. What do I do? So when I first started the channel initially, and I'm going to talk about this more in just a little bit later, I do primarily a lot of like news coverage, a lot of analytics and breakdowns. My general go-to right now is covering on the official Metarot channel, basically where I take all of their news that they report on every Tuesday, crunch out all of the highlights and the main bits of their announcements and reveals, crunch it all, translate it into English, and just kind of report on it myself. So I kind of help keep the Western community in the know of what's incoming, who's coming with each patch of Metarot-S, or any major updates, fan art, contests, or whatever that they highlight. And then after the main episode, I do also take time to break down and just kind of analyze all the new models that are incoming into the game. Just take a few minutes and say what they do, how good they are at it, what their stat spread looks like. And I do appreciate all that, and I've honestly had a fun time doing it because it gives me a chance to kind of gush about what I like, because if you don't have an outlet, you tend to get rather witchy, I guess you can call it, because you have no way that you can channel that, and forums and group servers can only really do so much. But I always enjoy it, kind of taking that chance to break everything down. That's kind of what I've always loved doing, is kind of breaking things down and figuring out how they work or how they do well. What do I want to do with the channel going forward? I've mentioned, you know, for people that have spoken with me or heard or follow me on Twitter for the last, say, 2 years or so, maybe a year at the most. Second every week. Thank you, Iron Clark. I do appreciate your continued encouragement on that. But if you do keep up to date with me on Twitter or on Discord, I've always juggled the idea of wanting to actually stream at some point. But I always ended up talking myself out of it. Say I'm missing assets or missing things, or I need to put everything together. What do I do? How do I do it? And I guess I kind of just keep comparing myself to all these other really big content creators I'm friends with or that I follow. I'm like, well, I have to be kind of like them because they kind of know what they're doing. I'm kind of learning to realize that's not really the case, and everything I do is kind of my own thing, because I've got my own little corner of the internet kind of market, you know, monopolized right now, because no one else ever really does Metarot news like I do. But that's okay. I'm just providing a service, and I appreciate and love everything that I do. I would love to start doing more gaming and art streams on the channel going forward if this stream is successful. I don't know if they're going to follow the exact same itinerary that things are going to happen with this one. Compare yourself to others. Yeah, I 100% agree, and it's just kind of it's just kind of giving me a little bit of time to realize that, I guess, and kind of talk myself into the realization of just do it. Don't overdo it. Just do it. In fact, that's the entire reason I started this stream within like 2 days. Because I'm like, if I give myself any extra time to think about it, like say if I put it a week out, I'm going to overthink it or get cold feet, and then I'm going to overanalyze every little piece I do and set up for it. So I'm kicking myself on one hand because I'm like, well, I only gave myself like 2 nights outside of my work hours to put everything together. Then on the other hand, I'm like, all right, well, cool. More gameplays of Metarot games. Yes, I do plan to play Metarot games at some point. May or may not do some some playthrough or PvP of Metarot-S. I may play Metarot 1 or 3 through the translation patches, Metarot-R. May kind of piggyback like on my buddy Lottle, who did a Metarot Navi recently, and we did the retrospective on his channel. But yes, Metarot games are officially on the docket. I do have a handful of other games I do plan to touch on that are not Metarot related. Dark Cloud 2, of course, being one of them, and that being the introductory game to start streaming, because, again, that one's kind of a childhood gem of mine, actually even before Metarot became a thing for me. I got a handful of others on the docket, but, again, I will get to those in just a little bit as some examples of things I might be playing in the future. How long have I been doing this? Well, I've been an official content creator, at least on YouTube's side, per se, as someone who produces content. Metarot Monday, yeah, if only. Hey, Hub, what's going on, bud? Thanks for stopping in. I'd love to do a Metarot Mondays thing, but the way my schedule is right now, I kind of have Mondays as a work day, so We'll see. I mean, if I have to, change around my work schedule for that, I might make something happen. But again, this is just kind of a testing ground, getting my feet wet, just to kind of see if everything's actually, gonna work out as I hope it will. How long have I been doing this? I've been an official content creator, as in posting to Twitter and YouTube, for about 3 years or so, come June, where I've officially been publishing episodes on the Metarot News Network. Right now, about episode 141, 1 or 2, I believe. I don't know without checking. They all just kind of run together after some point. I've been doing this for so long. But before that, I was actually really heavy on the Discord end, where I would just post the updates there in just a basic blurb of text. But that was also the days where, even with Discord Nitro, you were only allowed like 2,000 characters. And they really it really wasn't very conducive to what I wanted to kind of break down and talk about, because there was a lot of stuff they were releasing at the point that I just didn't have the character limit to do. So with that, I'm kind of touching into later territory, so I'm just going to kind of keep going. Favorite games. I'm going to touch on that in just a moment, actually. So sit tight on that, Rich, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Just some general things. What do I like? For games in general, action-adventure games I always had a soft place for. Dungeon crawlers, again, were always fun, as evident by Dark Cloud 2, which is very obviously a dungeon crawler, which you'll definitely see as I play the game and advance through it. RPG, JRPG always had a very soft place in my heart. Now, a little bit of a confession and a fun fact. I know the most common, or rather iconic, I can call it, RPG, JRPG is like Final Fantasy. Like confession, I have never actually played a Final Fantasy title, unless you count Brave Exvius on mobile, but that was for like 3 months and I gave up after a while. I would like to maybe play one at some point. For some reason, the series never actually tickled my fancy, so to speak. But I guess it kind of breaks down to, I just have to find that one that really does and just kind of try it out. But there's a lot of other games, some other big ones I really enjoyed, like, say, Xenoblade 2 or Xenoblade 3. Boo you, Drunk. I see you down there. Thank you, Callie. I'm happy to have you stop in with me. Thanks for stopping in. I do like some roguelites. This one's kind of a 50-50 for me. I do like them. I enjoy them. But it just kind of depends on the flavor, I guess, because there's a charm to being able to start fresh every run, but then there's also a charm to, and a frustration, I should say, to having to restart every time you fail. So that one's kind of a 50-50, depends on the genre for me. Well, then Final Fantasy Marathon gives me excuse to make a Metarot per... Okay, I guess that's kind of fair too, I guess, Iron Clark. That's kind of fair. Pizza Tower, yes, obviously. I do love racing games. I always will enjoy casual racing time on Mario Kart if anyone's down for it. I just haven't had the chance to, because no one ever really answers. In general, just me as a person, I do enjoy a lot of art. I've been trying to get back into that more and more often. If you follow me on Twitter, that is kind of obvious. And I do a little bit of a mini-series I've done, where I'll take some streamer friends of mine, and I'll draw a Metarot partner that matches their aesthetic. I've been having a lot of fun with that, made some new friends with that, others not so much. Dragon Quest, that's actually another one I've not played. I've heard very good things about it, but I've not actually had a chance to touch on it. That probably will be something I could add in the future too. Just to kind of touch on that briefly, I think I'm probably going to save the live streams for the non-Metarot News Network related content, so the gaming streams or just chatting or whatever else, just to kind of help keep them separate for now. And if I decide to move to another platform or do whatever else, I don't intend to move to another platform anytime soon. Helldivers 2, maybe. I'm no promises, but I've seen gameplay of it. Looks very intense. Not sure if I'll get into it, but it's always worth a shot if I can get with the party to try it out, and if the queues will let people in. I know that was kind of a big heavy point with them for a while. Steampunk obviously is another big aesthetic of mine I've always loved. I always enjoyed sci-fi in general, so steampunk's just more of a specialized facet of it. But the thing about just the old-fashioned designs and mechanical whirs of like steam and pipes, I always did enjoy. And that obviously did inspire a lot of my design and my aesthetic through the years, and that's always been just been a thing I've held on to. Dark Cloud 2 in particular has been a very big kind factor in that for a lot of reasons. And as I play that game, you're gonna find out very easily why it's been a theme I greatly enjoyed. Comedy, I can't, I don't need to say any more about it. If you can make me laugh, we are best friends. I always enjoy watching Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Tournament with your community. Yes, I would love to start doing those at some point. I've tried doing group games with other friends of mine, but they never quite held up water. But yeah, if the streaming thing does definitely kick off, I absolutely would love to try to host things like that and kind of look into them. Maybe even have some other streamer friends of mine join in as well for them to make it a big party. But yeah, that's definitely another very good idea too that I'm going to hold on to. Like I said, comedy. If you can make me laugh, we're best friends. I always enjoy watching comedians on the side. Some favorites of mine include Tim Hawkins, Jeff Allen, Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy. So I enjoy a lot of comedy. I enjoy a lot of things that make me laugh. I sometimes will do meme streams with the guys in my private Discord. So things that make me laugh. I'm always a very giggly fellow once I get in the mood. So if you can make me laugh, you can always... Any reason why I picked up YouTube instead of Twitch? I think the reason for it is because I'm already kind of here. I'm already kind of pre-established, and I only just noticed as well I hit 850 subscribers on YouTube after nearly 3 years. How did I reach that? Don't ask me. I have absolutely no idea how I amassed that following. But I think because I'm already kind of here, I'm already kind of established, I just want to stick with it right now. I may or may not extend to, say, like Twitch or Kick eventually, but again, it depends on how well the streaming kicks off, and if it does indeed become its own thing, then yeah, I see no reason with wanting to migrate the streams there and keep the YouTube channel to the Metarot stuff. But like I said, this is just kind of testing the waters right now, and if it does kick off, then yeah, absolutely I can look into it. But I do appreciate that suggestion, though, and that is a very good question. Other things I like, robots. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, Mr. Bean. Yes, I've heard very good funny things about Mr. Bean. I've seen clips of his as well. Let me saving the VODs. Yes, I have it set up to where when I hit end stream, it's going to sit officially on the channel. I don't plan on dropping it or taking it anywhere. So if you guys want to clip it or find your best moments on there, by all means, go after it. Have fun. You don't need my permission to do that. Robots, like I said, that's kind of obvious. I mean, if you followed me for longer than a year, or even if you just take like 30 seconds and look on my YouTube channel, that's kind of plain to see. But no, I've always loved robots, even as a kid. Some of my favorite movies were like Robots by Blue Sky Studios, DreamWorks, if you guys remember that one. Scrap Mechanic, also a fun one. So here's a fun fact for you guys. The one that actually got me really big into robots, like my childhood hero, that actually got me inspired on loving robots as a whole. Other kids had Batman and Spider-Man and Superman. No, not me. My childhood hero growing up was Cubix, if any of you guys remember that old fella. Under the show Cubix Robots for Everyone. I honestly loved that show as a kid. I watched the promo VHS, which I still have over and over and over as a kid. The DVD, which was just the abridged TV series. I watched that over and over and over as a kid. He was my childhood hero and role model for my love of robots growing up. I have a whole bunch of the toys and storage that I still have, and I really don't intend to get rid of them anytime soon for that sentimental reason. My folks gifted me the Korean toy years ago too that was actually magnetically attached to each other, that could transform, and that was a crowning moment in that collection. But yes, Cubix is an absolute love. If I ever do see more Cubix stuff, or maybe even in the future if I decide to do like a watch along or something, I could probably throw Cubix up on here. We could live watch it together. That'd be an idea. I'll hold on to that one. Fantasy as a whole, started playing Metarot 2 games, Metarot 2 earlier games. Yes, that's actually the one that got me started Metarot 2. As a whole, that one in the GameCube game. Fantasy, I've always liked that in general. Always had a general aesthetic and interest in it. It just kind of ties in with the steampunk aesthetic I like as well. Boo? Well, boo you, Atma. Thanks for stopping in. And of course, trains. I could probably go on and on and on and on about trains like I do with robots. I'm just going to say it, I grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine as a kid. That was one of my fundamental building blocks of learning how the world works and everything as a kid. And that interest always just carried on into the future and even to modern day too. Where a lot of folks like to study history on, say, like wars, or people had interest in planes or tanks or even cars. Cars is a big one. No, that's not me. I always enjoyed having learning stuff about trains. So things like different kind of classes and wheel arrangements and designs. I could probably tell you a whole lot about like there's just the Civil War classes and types that were designed alone. Guns, of course, with Drunk as well, and a lot of other friends of mine were really big into that. I'm also a really big history buff, so that does kind of tie into that as well. So a lot of things like studying the Civil War and, you know, railroads' attempts on, you know, weight and influence on it. The Great Locomotive Chase is one of my particular favorite moments of history. World's fastest steam locomotives, or just railroad development in general. I would love to try to do something with that more often, but you don't really see a lot of train games too often. Maybe one every here and there, but if I find one that really piques my interest, then yeah, I probably will consider that for a stream at some point if this does kick off. What do I not like? Spirit Tracks, yes, that which is ironically one I've not played all the way through. I want to at some point. I was about midway through it, and I stopped and never picked it back up again. I want to eventually. I've seen it to the end. I've seen videos on YouTube about pretty much the entire game. But I will absolutely play that at some point, and yes, it is one of my favorites for that reason. What do I not like? Games in general, RTS, real-time simulation games, they're okay. I mean, I can appreciate the charm in real-time simulation for, like, the City Builders, or say, like, Railroad Tycoon, or any of Sid Meier's games like that. And I tried them, I gave them a very genuine effort, but they just never really had that click with me. Maybe if one does end up coming at some point, I can give it a shot, but don't expect to see too many of those with me or see too much of an interest. Simulation games for the very finicky with RTS, you love. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Hunter. That's the exact same reason for me. You either love them or you hate them. Simulation games, kind of in that same vein as well. You either love them or you hate them. If I find one that's like really fun or really interesting, then yeah, I'll give it a shot without any major bias. But, again, never really a genre that resonated with me as other ones might. Horror games, I'm going to be upfront and say it, I'm a wimp. I don't like horror games as a whole, so you will not see me play things like Five Nights at Freddy's or any kind of jump scare game. I want to try Phasmophobia just to say that I did it, but I'm not playing that one alone. I am too much of a wimp to do it. I'm going to be the first one to it. But if I can do it with a party, then maybe I could be talked into that. FPS games as a whole, I just never liked them. I tried them. I tried a couple hands in the genre, but I just couldn't get into them. It's just a genre I don't like. Fighters, I did see your comment there, Hub. I'm neutral about fighters. Like, I put it down as a dislike because I don't normally play them all that often, but mostly because I never really I guess the easiest way to say this, I'm just not really good at them. Like, I can always enjoy it and have a good and casual time, but things like, say, Super Smash Bros. Or things like that, not really going to be my genre of choice. Like, if someone talks me into it, I could probably be open to trying it, but probably won't be the first thing I pick up if you put it on a table with a whole bunch of other, a whole other genre of games. In general, yeah, like I said, don't count fighters out just yet, Hub. I definitely am open to trying them, but like I said, it won't be the first thing I pick up. What's this? Like drawing, why not make story based on your characters? I've thought about it. Like it'd be a good project to consider. It's definitely something I can consider with art at some point. General stuff, stuff in general I don't like. Don't like anything lewd. Yeah. Now, of course, I'm an adult. I have a I can enjoy something every once in a while, but there's always a point of moderation where I'm like, okay, enough's enough, or that's a little bit too much for me. In that same vein, hot, spicy foods. Again, I'm a wimp. I can't take the heat very well. More often than not, if I'm sitting with my family or friends over at dinner and they start ordering all the hot stuff at, say, like a Mexican place, I usually will end up not partaking. My usual go-to meal at, say, like a Mexican joint will be just like queso and chips. Because again, I can't take the heat, don't really care for it. Um, Seafood, same vein. I just can't stand it. I was in a conversation with my with a coworker of mine last night over it. It's the taste, the texture, the smell. I just can't take it. I don't know why. I've tried it. Man, you could do streaming. You make a timeline live, and yeah, that'd be a possibility too. That's another idea I could consider. Damn, I don't like seafood. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because there's a lot of seafood, and I work at a grocery store, so I mean, you'd think I'd be used to it after a while, but no, I just can't stand it. Just everything about it. Like some people with foods, it's the taste. Some people, it's the texture. For me, it's just all of the above. So you will not ever see me partake in a seafood dish of any kind of variety. Most buddies, yeah, it's an acquired taste, like as some friends of mine call it. You have to be like really into it, or you aren't. For that same reason, again, sushi, seafood, any kind of fish product, I generally will not touch. Drama. This one's kind of an obvious one. Now, don't get me wrong. I always enjoy pulling up the popcorn bowl and listening in on the latest drama. Say, for instance, with a certain company with a talent they terminated, or with something else that goes on, or whatever else may be. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy listening in on that, but when it comes to like starting drama or being in the middle of drama, no, I'm not really big into that. I've lost friends in the past from that. I've had to cut off and let go of, but it's just not really something for me. I'm more than welcome to have a civil conversation about it. We can make it happen. Marsh, what's going on, my guy? Good to see you in. I'm more than welcome to have a civil conversation about drama, just so we can like talk about it. But in terms of like spiking it or getting really like extreme with the views or whatnot, probably will not be something you see on this channel at all. And I'm gonna keep the channel drama free for that very reason, because I want this to be a comfy space that people can just come in and hang out as a way to escape said drama. Favorite game. Someone actually asked me about this, and well, here you go. These are my personal. I'm gonna up here over briefly. These are some just my personal recommendations on games that are absolute must-haves. Like, if you've not played these games, you have not lived. Medarot 9. That's probably one of my favorite titles of the Medarot series as a whole. Probably one of the most, and even across my Japanese friends as well that review the game and did all the online stuff, they hail it as a very well-made game, and I have to agree. Despite not really playing it, with any translation, I played it just raw Japanese. It was still a very enjoyable game. I liked the mechanics, the mix and match, of course, of Medarot as a whole. It's just something you really can't go wrong with. And as an RPG-based game, it's always a really good, really well-loved one. Free, you have something Wizard. Yeah, I made a comment on the Wizard game as well years ago, but that was mostly me just having to weigh in on my thoughts objectively on it. But yeah, like I said, you really won't see a lot of that here if I do continue with the streaming. When you say simulation, you mean games like LSD, Dream Simulator for PS1? I mean, simulation games in general, so say, for instance, or at least games that come to mind anyway, are things like The Sims, or things like that. Simulator games like that, say, for instance, some popular games from friends of mine, such as Tank Mechanic or Train Simulator, things like that. Those are okay, I'd be okay with those, but again, things like Sims or SimCity, probably not so much. Only one game we get to play on the list. Which one's that one, Hub? I'd be willing to give that a shot too if I look into it. But yeah, Medarot 9, always loved it. Highly recommend if you're looking for a foreign game to try. I really just can't say enough about it. Medarot S, I mean, that's kind of obvious. It's what I've reported on very consistently over the last... Medarot 9. Well, you have not lived yet, my friend, but that can be fixed very easily, especially since, diverting back for a minute, there is a English patch for it, I believe, that was released within the last couple of years or so, I think. It's really only translated the battle menus and the fights, so the story itself is untouched, but it's kind of just play at your own convenience, I guess, so it's not 100% still translated, but it's there. It's in progress, I guess, if you wanted to try it. Medarot S, like I said, I can't say that one enough. It's pretty self-explanatory because I've reported on it consistently for almost 3 years. I really do enjoy the game, and I've made comments on this in our Discord server as well. I really like the fact that compared to most other gacha games out there that tend to have this really, like, negative stigma about gacha games as a whole, that tend to be, like, really, payment heavy or really RNG heavy with the pay to win. Meteor S has been usually pretty good about that. Now, it does have a lot of it does have some power creep and some pay to win aspects to it, yes, but it's also done a good job of making sure it goes back and balances itself. So, for instance, Cross Shock, the skill, which was a scatter hidden always hit, always crit. A lot of people complained about that for the longest time, and then within like the last couple months, they went back and nerfed it. So now, if you use it, sure, it's still powerful, but now you can't dodge or defend with it. So I really like that they go back and kind of rebalance itself after a while to keep things fresh. And that's also not touching on any like new skills or even the new bots they introduced with contests or fan art, or even with the collaborations, or having a lot of home artists that they have do a lot of new designs as well. So I really have to appreciate them on that front. That there are some things they could do better, but for the most part, they've done a very good job keeping it as a very well-rounded and well-balanced game as a whole. And I have to rate it pretty highly for that respect. You understand how to play Meteor 9? It's not hard, honestly. Like, it plays very similarly, but it doesn't have the shuffle run mechanic as, say, Meteor S does. It plays very similarly to the other games in the series, so Meteor DS, 7, and 8, and so on. So if you played either of those, you can pick up 9 pretty easily, especially with the translation patch with the battle mechanics. A lot of things that would have changed primarily would be like the battles themselves. So a lot of, say, like the leg abilities are probably going to be different, or they might be triggered differently. For instance, I'm trying to think of an example. Manjiro, I think, has the ability of Rush in Meteor S, which is boosted damage if you have more melee parts equipped. In Meteor 9, I think it was changed. The name was changed to something else, but it was also changed to where if you had a certain number of it was like an immediate passive, I think, that immediately kicked in, just because, you know, based on your heat and cool stat relative to your target. So most of the changes were primarily with like the leg abilities and just the general mechanics as a whole. And of course, a lot of the fancy new attacks like Cross Shock and spinning and everything were not introduced in 9. But otherwise, it's still a very well popular game, and I enjoy it for that reason. Dark Cloud 2, that's kind of obvious. Again, I'm planning to play it at the end of this introduction as well. Just for a lot of reasons. I grew up with it as a childhood game. It shaped a lot of my love and aesthetic and preferences for steampunk and fantasy as a whole, and you guys are going to see why when I officially start playing that as well. Shovel Knight, I grew up on this one as well, probably from roughly, say, like 2016 or so, when a buddy of mine gave me the original Shovel Knight on 3DS back when it first came out. Really enjoyed Shovel Knight on there. I really did enjoy the indie platformer, which also are a couple favorite genres of mine as well. Really did kick off. The one thing I am going to forewarn you about Shovel Knight, if you've not played it, is compared to most other indie platformers of its time, and even to today, it's how do I put this nicely? It's not very forgiving. It's going to be very brutal in making sure that you time your jumps and your attacks nicely. And if you are so much as a pixel off, well, you're going to go careening in the abyss. Now, the one forgiving thing about the original Shovel Knight and even the DLC stories as well is they're forgiving on the aspect where if you, say, lose your money, you can go back and reclaim it, but I found that it's usually harder to go back and reclaim the money. You often risk more trying to get it back than you do just trying to forget it and move on. But that's just me. That includes other games in the series. I have the Shuffle game that's on Steam. I have Shovel Knight Dig, which I waited 4 years from 2017 to recent when it released, thinking they would never release it. Hey Gizmo, thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I plan to try playing some Shovel Knight games as well, because those are always a favorite game as well. I did enjoy playing. I might start with Dig, being completely honest, but since it's supposed to be like a prequel series, I think they called it, to the original Shovel Knight. But I may or may not play the original as well, or any of the extra stories. Mystery Dungeon, on and off. I'm not gonna say like I played one all the way through. That was my brother actually did, and he had it on the DS as well. I might play one at some point. Not 100% sure. Pokemon's kind of like an on and off for me. Like, I enjoy it, and I'll always have a good conversation with it, but it probably won't be the first thing I pick up, since, if I'm being completely real with you, and you guys have to agree, the last couple rounds of Pokemon games have had their charm, but then when the charm wears off, then you start to see all the flaws with it, and you can kind of tell Game Freak's kind of let the ball slide. So I'm kind of waiting for them to pick that ball back up, and I think the introduction of Palworld might just be that kick in the balls they need to really start picking things up. So we'll have to see, but I'm not opposed to trying a mystery dungeon game if enough people do recommend it. Pizza Tower. This one's also kind of an obvious if you've known me longer than, say, I'll hardly recommend Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yes, like I said, I'm not opposed to trying one. It just depends on if there's enough recommendation and interest in it. Pizza Tower, I have played it all the way through. I am tinkering with mods, just to kind of make things fun, attempting the third lap and the fourth lap, and much like Shovel Knight, if you've not played Pizza Tower, first of all, why? Absolutely fantastic game. I still love the firm mindset. It should have won Game of the Year, but you know, it's a done deal. It's over and done and whatever. But it's a fantastic game. I highly recommend. It's very high action, very anxiety inducing if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't like working on timers. But if you do, or if you hate them, very fun game. I'm very excited to see the official announcements and DLC that was announced. I heard the noise is going to be playable eventually too. You can play Legends of Violet. Yeah, it's same thing with that too, which is why I've seen a lot of people go to like ROM hacks. So because those tend to keep things very fresh with all the newer mods or things like that. Coincidentally, friends been nagging me to play Pizza Tower. Yes, I highly recommend Pizza Tower. If you enjoyed the older Wario Land games, I think like Wario Land 4, I think, was the one they kept comparing it to, then you'll love Pizza Tower. But much like Shovel Knight, it is very, and I'm going to say this a lot, it was very unforgiving. I cannot tell you, and Drunk, Hub, Marsh, you guys have heard me rage as well over how close I would be to getting a P rank on a level, and I would miss it by like a half frame, or I'd get so turned around. And Helldivers, see you later. Thanks for stopping in, Drunk. I do appreciate the support and the encouragement. Go have fun killing bugs. That's all I can say about it. Go have fun. But again, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, my friends of mine that have heard me in chat can confirm it's a very rage-inducing game because Pizza Tower is not forgiving. But it's P ranking game is blood pressure. Yes. That's a very good way of putting it, because you not only have all of the stresses of having to make it through the level, but you also have the timer and the countdown. You have to find all the top-ends and the secrets. And if you want to go for P rank, you have to make sure you keep your combo streak the whole time. And that is very anxiety-inducing. Like, I can't tell you how many times when I finally got that P rank, I would throw my controller in a cold sweat and just be like hard breathing, hyperventilating kind of hard breathing. But I always enjoy it. It's a fun game. The soundtrack is an absolute banger if you've not listened to that. It's Pizza Time, The Death I Deserve, Ioli, Bye Bye There, Pizza Mayhem, and if you like the mods, Killer John's Revenge, which is not an official track but widely accepted. Highly recommend. If you're looking for a new game to try, Pizza Tower is an absolute must-play on my list. Last but not least, among other games such as like Xenoblades 2 and 3, which I could not add on here, Ocarina of Time. Now, of all the games I've listed here, this is the one that's carried with me from my childhood, quite truly. For anyone that's played a Zelda game, I really don't have to explain why. This one I've grown up with. I actually played this on the original Nintendo 64 when I was a kid. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and display my age for a minute. But I always loved going back to that title, and it's always a comfort title for me. Going back to the fantasy comforts of my childhood, traveling through Hyrule and traversing through all the dungeons. I always loved it. It's something I always hold very close and very dear to my heart, and it's for that reason I probably will always support the Zelda series as a whole. Have I played randomized? No. I have not played a randomized Zelda title. I've seen a lot of chaos those can cause. I might consider that for a stream, maybe, as something to try, just to kind of try them out and see just how crazy those can be, and I've seen how crazy those can be. I'll have to try them, that's all I can say. Let me see. I think that covers most of the games that are on my my must-pick list. So just kind of moving on with that here. So one other thing I want to kind of touch on is my story. Now, I did see a comment in the chat as well asking about kind of what got me into Medarod as a whole, or what got them into it, and I just want to touch on that as well. I have mentioned in the past, I've always been a fan of robots and fantasy and steampunk and sci-fi as a whole. So it really wasn't that hard for me to get into Medarot when that first game was brought home. My first official title on it actually was Medarot Brave on the GameCube. My brother brought it home from a visit to GameStop. I think it was like $4 or $5. I think he got it at that point. And I fell in love with it. Now, it wasn't like I'm going to play this thing to the absolute bone and complete it because, let's be real, for those that know, Medarot Brave was kind of buggy. And it was very difficult to properly, it was really difficult to kind of really pick up and master because there were so many very obvious bugs and things that could very easily soft lock a play and pretty much prevent you from playing it as a whole. But I still greatly enjoyed it, and even after we brought that home, I was able to pick up a copy of the RPG to Core. I started with Rokusho version and played that. I did greatly enjoy it. That first boss fight's a killer, though, I'm just telling you. And that's kind of what started my interest in the series as a whole. There are games I don't like. I really can't say, only because I have not played a lot of the mainline titles, or I have not played them all the way through. So I really can't give you an answer on that one yet. But yeah, the interest fully grew after I played Brave and 2 Core. When I first really started getting to emulators and found out the series still was kicking off. And this was like still roughly like 2011, 2012. So I've been a fan of Medarot for a very, very long time. Started with DS. After I got a DS emulator up and running, I really enjoyed that one and really spiked the interest. After especially finding out that they kept the series going after they revived it in 2010. Never really played with a lot of the games since then. Through the years up until about let's say 2015, 2016, thereabout, I want to say. And just kind of followed it in silence after I started really learning about Project Rising Beetle and got involved with that community on the old Zeta Boards forums. Ruben, I'm sure you more than remember those old things that are, I think, maybe still around. I don't even know if they are anymore because it's just been so long since those servers have been up and running, and we migrated to Discord shortly after that. But let me see, 2016, 2017 or so, I started getting to more emulators, and I got into learning about Medarot 7, 8, and 9. I started playing 9, I think, in 2017, 2018. Still peeps up. Wow, I'm actually shocked. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that that those forums are still up and running. I honestly didn't think they would be after we made that announcement years back that we were migrating to Discord with it. So that's honestly still good, though. That people are still touching base with it. I played Medarot 9. I actually played a lot of the titles through those years as well. So Medarot Navi was in there. Medarot 9. I did play 5 a little bit, just kind of got into it. I played Medarot R before the translation patch came out. I played a lot of the games. I was actually able to beat a good chunk of them without understanding a word. I have to thank Japanese wikis for that, though, because if I didn't have those, I would have no idea who does what. But anyway, moving on. So I've been a fan of the series for quite some time. And when Medarot S came out in 2020, of course, that was a really big hype of excitement because that was the first real game that they were releasing for a very long time, minus, of course, the Classics collection that was on the 3DS, and, of course, a little later, Classics Plus on the Switch. So really big hype there, and I absolutely got into that day one when I could, once I got a BlueStacks up and running on my PC and even got it working on my phone. Jerson, hey, thanks for stopping in. Glad to have you with us, bud. Hope you enjoy your time. And of course, the whole thing with the lawsuit and everything, with the scam bots and everything, really started spiking a lot of interest. Keeping up to date with that, and at some point after like a year and a half of Medarot S being around, I kind of noticed that there really weren't a lot of other people talking about it. Like, there was no coverage on the Western side, there was no breakdowns or anyone just mentioning or breaking down the game or even helping translate that in general. So I started doing it on Discord, like I said a while back, about just kind of giving the highlights of each of their weekly episodes in there. It's just like a pinned text. But I kind of ran out on that after a while, and it just kind of reached a stagnation. So finally one day I decided, well, you know what? If no one's going to cover it, I don't think anyone's going to. So I decided I was going to give it a try. And, well, almost 3 years later, here I am, host of the Metarot News Network, and having been consistently that that voice for the Western community to kind of help show Imagineer that, you know, we're still here, and we still want our fighting robots back. I want to say that probably has been, I'm not 100% sure of this. I'm sure friends of mine will probably say it is, but I'm just gonna keep, you know, remain wary on it. That I'm more than certain that it's probably been a cornerstone and step in Imagineer realizing just how big that the Western fan community is, because we're here. Like it's not like a cult following where it's like a really small group of people that only know about it, but it's an absolutely huge following outside of Japan, and I'm really glad that Imagineer is finally embracing and understanding that. In fact, in their recent on their Metarot Day coverage back last year in November, they even said that they've noticed a really big spike in international engagement too. So I would absolutely love the opportunity to speak with some of the developers and producer-san and everybody, and just kind of have that moment to really talk about the series with the developers and kind of really help cement the fact that we want it back. And I think the tail end resolution of the whole lawsuit situation will really tie into that. And I am really excited to see what they did say they have announced going into 2024 with a new game or whatever that's not related to Metarot-S. So, of course, as always, I will always cover that. And once I do have that news out, you guys will absolutely be the first to know. But, yeah, that's just kind of a little bit about me. The only reason I picked up the content creating and the streaming is primarily because no one else did it, I guess you can call it. So I figured, well, if I don't do it, who will? And that's just kind of been my whole MO with this ever since. And I've honestly been really thankful with it. I've made a lot of friends in the Metarot community, not just in our Discord, also in our Facebook group, and both have been growing tremendously, like at least 1 to 2 members a day just in the Discord alone. And at last check, the Facebook community alone was like at 9,000 some members. Oh, it's on the road to 10,000, and I'm honestly shocked. And most of that growth was within like the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months. So it's been like exponential growth, and I'm so proud of it. But yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. I've made a lot of wonderful friends, not just in the international communities, but I've made a lot of wonderful friends on the Japanese side as well. I keep in touch with very, very dear friends of mine, not just Metarot related as well, but just friends in general. Same with content creators as a whole that have given me tips and tricks through the years as I've progressively improved. If you look at my first few videos of coverage compared to my recent ones, there is a very obvious step up in quality. Will I ever go back and watch them again and without cringing? Probably not. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, that's a little bit about me and what I do. It's been a journey. I'm really happy with how far I've come. I'm honestly shocked how much of a growth I've developed just in these last 3 years. But I really have you guys to thank for that, and the whole Metarot community as a whole, and even my other streamer friends that stop in and give me tips or tricks or that I coordinate with. Very happy to have you guys. I'm so proud to call you guys, you know, be that voice for you guys for the international community. But yeah. Oh, one last thing before I do forget. Definitely give Clark Designer, my buddy Iron Clark here in chat, a follow as well on Twitter if you haven't. He's the one that actually designed this piece of fan art for me, which I absolutely still love, and I try to use it everywhere I can. I have it saved for that very reason. I wasn't sure what really to put for this, so I figured, oh yeah, well I have this piece of art. Because I don't really get a lot of fan art, being completely honest. So I'm so proud of that and so happy with that. So again, thank you for that, Iron Clark. I am greatly appreciative. And you guys definitely give Iron Clark a follow as well if you want to see more of his awesome art and the weaponry that he makes in your feats. But moving forward, I think with the stream as well, a lot of people want to set some ground rules as well. So I just want to take a minute and do that too, just to make sure that we're all on the same page with what to do with the streams. Because this is still a relatively new platform, I just want to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page with that. And I will be sure to emphasize these rules as well in every chat, in every stream, as well as a pinned message, if need be. But just to kind of go over the rules briefly, I have 5 very basic rules. They're very easy rules, very simple to follow. I really don't think y'all should have any issues following these. The first of which is to keep it clean. I do not have any issues with friends of mine that curse or swear. I do not really mind if you do that in chat. I'm only going to ask that you keep it moderated. If you are going to curse in the chat, again, just use a little self-moderation, have a little self-control there. I'm not going to stop you, but just keep it, keep it under control. For any collabs or any group games I do with people that do cursing, I'm not going to stop you guys because, what you guys do on your channels is completely up to you. But if you guys are in my chat or if you guys are on my streams, keep it on moderation. I won't stop you, but, have some self-control with it. That's all I'm asking. Be mindful and read the room. This one's kind of a vague rule. I'm just going to explain this one for a bit. Depending on the whole mood of the stream, so if it's like a let's play or if it's a chatting stream or whatever, just kind of read the room for the context. So at certain points in the conversation, there's comments that you can make or discussions that I'm absolutely happy to have with you guys, and that's no problem whatsoever. But if there's, say, a more somber tone, or I'm just not feeling it that day and it's just a chatting stream, or if there's something that I just really don't want to talk about, or I try to address briefly, read the room, just kind of drop it and move the subject towards something else, or just kind of follow with the topic as well. I'm more than confident you guys will have no problems doing that as well, but this is just for the sake of having it established as a ground rule. Another big one I've seen a lot of streamer friends of mine emphasize a lot, and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon as well. If you are a content creator or an artist or whatever that does commission, do not self-promote yourself in chat. Now, I'm not going to completely shut you down because I'm openly an ambassador for supporting artists. And if you're a friend of mine that hops in chat and you do art or you do whatever, then yeah, I absolutely will self-promote for you. And I'll say, yeah, they're a great buddy of mine. They do art commissions or they do animations or whatever. Let me do that for you is the bottom line. Don't do that in my chat because that is kind of rude, and it's also kind of disrespectful to take attention away from the streamer in that respect as well. Like I said, I really don't think you guys should have problems with that. I have wholehearted faith in you guys. No soliciting. Yeah, exactly. It's a very common rule in streaming, and I just want to make sure that I set that ground rule now. I don't know what I'm going to start doing with that going forward. I'm probably going to tell you guys to knock it off if you are, especially because I'm still learning how to stream and learning this new platform, facet of a platform as a whole. But like I said, just be nice about it, guys. Let me self-promote you. Makes it come off like they're about you. Yes, exactly. That's another good way to put it. Now, as an exception to this, because there are ways that you can broach the subject without actually breaking the rule or being disrespectful about it. If I make a comment saying, like, I do art or whatever else, or if I ask how you're doing and you say you're working on commissions or something, or you say that I do art, and you say it's something that you do or it's a hobby, then yeah, absolutely, that's 100% okay. I'm 100% okay with that. But just don't start, posting your socials or links to your card or links to your commission sheet or your Twitter or whatnot in the chat. Don't do that. That's kind of rude. And if that's going to be the case, and especially if I know you and you're a friend of mine that does commissions or whatever, let me promote you. And then I'll stick links in the chat, and then you guys can go follow them from there. Basically, let me take the initiative. Rule number 4, do unto others. This is just the contracted version of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a very simple rule. It is like the golden rule of life. If you want people to treat you nicely, treat them nicely in return. Don't start arguments. Don't get rude or sarcastic with people unless you can do that and they appreciate it as a joke. Just be nice. And if you are nice to me, I will be nice to you. I live by this rule. It is my MO for all the years of life I have been alive. It's a very simple rule. And if you guys are going to start deviating from this rule, or if I start noticing that people are starting fights in chat, or starting fights with me, I am going to put a stop to it. Because I am a wholehearted advocate and believer in my place being a comfort zone, so that people can just come in and relax. I don't want to start bringing in a lot of outside life drama. I can talk about it. I'm happy to be civil with it, but I don't want that willingly brought into my chat because it's going to kind of kill the mood and it's going to make it really hard to pick everything back up. Rule number 5. I mention this on pretty much every video I record, and even on my own Twitter I say it, and on Discord I say it as well. my DMs are always open. So if you have any questions or comments or feedbacks or whatever, or if there's something that you want to bring to my attention, or if you are a content creator and want to collaborate, whether that's a group game or an interview or whatever, however you want to host it, or if you want to stop in with me on the Metarot News Network on a Tuesday and we can coordinate for that, absolutely. There's always going to be a place at the desk for a guest host. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm not going to beg you to reach out to me, but please don't feel stressed out or worried or pressured to, because I want to listen to you guys, and I make sure I actively listen to you guys. So if there is a concern you have about, say, a member in the community, or if there's something you think I could probably work on or do better with the streaming or the content creator or whatever, please reach out to me. Like, I absolutely am openly welcome to it. I'm not going to shut you down and say, well, I've done it this way, so I'm not going to change, whatever. I'm not going to be rude about it. And there's no way to start a conversation. But by all means, feel free to reach out. Absolutely. And we can most certainly try to make something happen. Not just with collabs, but again, with, say, rules or suggestions, or even things that you think I could try or look into going forward in the future. Yeah, we can definitely make something happen with that. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything, though, with the, let me move myself back over here, there. I believe that covers basically everything, though, for the general self-introduction to myself and who I am and what I do and what I want to try to do with this new facet of and new direction with my content creation. I think one other note I want to mention is me hosting the stream on a Saturday is kind of a one-off thing, because my usual days off are Sundays and Tuesdays, so I'm probably going to try to aim for a stream. Again, if this does kick off, I am planning to try to make a stream officially for either for one of those days, depending on how it fits in my schedule. Most likely, Sundays are probably going to end up being stream day, depending on what goes on, just so I can keep my Tuesdays open for my usual recordings, because as much as I want to do more for it on there, Tuesdays are kind of a one-man show for me, because I do everything. I collect all my information, I make all my presentations, I record all the segments, I upload it and post it everywhere. I have to do all that myself. So if I start at, say, like 11 o'clock or noon, I'm not recording until, say, like 4 or 4:30 or even 5 in the evening, and stuff isn't posted until like 6 or 7. So it's an all-day thing for me, and I want to try to keep that day open for that reason. Now, that does not mean I'm not going to host streams on Tuesday. Now, if I decide I'm going to host something in the later Tuesday evening or something, relative to work schedule, then yeah, absolutely, I will be sure to post something on there, maybe it's a just chatting or a blitz stream or something. I don't know, but I am going to try to keep it open. But yeah, I believe that covers basically everything, I guess, for me talking about myself in this respect. So I want to take a couple of seconds and just kind of open the floor to you if you have any questions for me or anything you want to talk about, or even just anything that you might want to throw my way at this point. I'm gonna give a couple minutes and leave the floor open to you guys. First question: who? Answer: what? I think that's going to be the easiest way to explain it, is just what. Your thoughts on the best Metarot that is Galapagos? Being completely honest, my guy, he's one of those ones where I know he exists. I have a very vague understanding of what he does from the game he came from. Would I like to see him in Metarot-S? Absolutely. I mean, if it were my choice, I would love to see every Metarot from all the previous games in Metarot-S, so we have one giant library of all the models all together. Yeah, he's a creative design. I dig it. Not 100% sure how I feel about what he does in combat, but again, if he does end up making it to Metarot-S, then yeah, absolutely, I'd be down to see my overall thoughts about him. Who's my waifu? That's a good question, honestly, because that's an excellent question. I honestly can't give you an answer. I really can't, because there's no names that come to mind for me. Let me see. I'm gonna consider. I understand this feeling. Well, kind of. Like, I can appreciate the waifu character and stereotype of a lot of female characters from series I've watched, such as just to list off some that I really enjoy. Danmachi, I really openly enjoy. I love that one. My Hero is another example. Overlord. Basically, there's a lot of elements of a lot of female characters I can appreciate. Mostly because as an analytic mind, I tend to look beyond the, oh, she looks pretty kind of thing. So I can appreciate a little bit of all of them, I guess. So it's really hard to narrow it down to say like 2 or 3 or even 1. Because, like you said, there's too many, but it's also just hard to answer that question very clearly. Biggest wish for Meta-S, either feature or bot. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, I did say earlier, I would love to see every single Meta from previous games. Maybe Shingata, I don't know. I've not decided that far. In Meta-S as a whole, so that we have a giant library, because that makes it very obvious that if you have models of all of them ready to go, and you have them ready, it leads to the possible question of, well, if that be the case, and there's a chance that if they make a new Meta game later, then there's a chance they might stop in, because they have the model. It really wouldn't make sense for them not to use it. And I actually maintain that same mindset with all the models from from Meta 9 going into S. And there's still a handful of some that we're missing, but it kind of ties into that, where I'd like to have a whole library ready to go. Other features I'd like to see, localization would be a start. Mostly so we can really tie the global community and the Eastern community together, so that we can all enjoy it. My only real concern with a localized globalized server is they would make it so servers can't be like migrated or transferred, which makes sense, I guess, in its own right, because the JP servers have been going on for like 4 years now. It really wouldn't make sense to let players with that have been playing since day one migrate with all their super powerful models over, and all the global players be like, well, wait, where did they get this model, or why don't I have it? So if that happens, I would absolutely love to see a global server release, just for the sake of being able to unite the community. Would I start a file on the global servers? I might. I might make it a stream-only thing, though, if they actually do that. Like if they actually did release a global server kind of thing, I would absolutely be fully willing to start a global alt save, I guess I can call it, of just the global game, especially because it would be a lot easier for viewers and everything to follow, because it'll be all in English, and I can keep my Japanese account as my private and my main one for my go-to and everything. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Are there any other questions you guys might have for me at current? Give you just a little bit longer. Favorite food? I mean, that's kind of obvious. Any kind of pasta. I'm a pasta nut. So Italian, fettuccine Alfredo, spaghetti, even ramen to a point as well. Any kind of pasta noodle, or if I can add pasta to it, that alone makes the dish like a million times better. One of my favorite foods, like absolute favorite food, it's a homemade dish that my mom makes periodically, and it's gonna be a good night when she makes one of those. It's a dish called bangers and mash, which is basically cut up like brats with diced tomatoes in like a milk sauce, and it is super good. Like highly recommend if you've not tried it or look into it. That is a dish you absolutely have to try. And if you have not tried it, you are uncultured. I'm kidding. But no, it's a delicious dish. That is one of my favorites, hands down, next to anything pasta. If you've not tried it, please do. But let me see. I think that covers basically everything for the introduction. Had a really nice chatting here going on about an hour or so, and so far it's been pretty fun. I've been really enjoying having fun and talking with you guys. With that being said, though, I am going to go ahead and start up an intermission and pull my idle my idle page back up. Take a couple minutes to kind of step back and stretch a little bit because I have been sitting for about an hour. Reset everything and get everything set up for the gameplay, and then go ahead and get started with Dark Cloud 2. So I don't think it should take longer than about 5 minutes, 5 or so tops. So with that being said, listen while doing some stuff. It's been fun, yeah. And yeah, like I said, it should be about 5 or so minutes, maybe just a little longer, 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and set everything up for the game, and we'll be back up online and get started. So I will see you guys in just a few minutes. Hold on. Kill that. Okay, there we go. One of these streams is messed up. Hold on, can you guys see? Okay, perfect. Alright, 1 second. I still gotta play around with this. Front. I almost had everything ready to go. Okay, cool. I think everything. Alright, you guys all set and ready to go? Guys, just a second to come on. We'll finalize my there. We're ready to go. Alright, I'm about ready to take you guys on a journey through my childhood. I hope you guys are ready for a real trip. Pair that up. Alright. Oh man, that's such a nostalgia trip right there. Just to make sure you guys can hear it as well, right? Okay, perfect. I was worried about that for a minute. Oh man, I love that theme every single time I hear it. Such memories from that. Oh man, that was such a nostalgia trip. This is going to be so much fun walking you through this thing. Alright, let's get started. Let me see. I forgot they were able to let you do things like Yeah, so the reason for that, Shannon, welcome in, by the way. Happy to have you with us. The reason for that is because the first one, the first Dark Cloud, was kind of like a proof of concept, so it followed the same guidelines, but it was very, very rough around the edges, I think you could call it. Like, the first game actually had a thirst meter, and if you let that fall down to 0, you actually started taking damage. So, like, every, say, like, 2 minutes, you had to chug down a water bottle or you'd start taking damage. And if your weapons hit 0 HP and broke, you actually, like, lost the weapon. So, needless to say, they got rid of that in the new one, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, it was kind of a very rough proof of concept then, but it paved the way for what became 2. But when it was first released, it was simply called Dark Chronicle. So same vein, just different name. It just wasn't until Level 5 localized it, they just simply renamed it as Dark Cloud 2. Forgot all about all the fun outfits. Head vest. I dig the vest, but it needs to be brown, not red. Might do the vest though. I mean, I can always get these later. What the overalls? Shoes. Shoes. Okay. Monica's out. Monica I always enjoyed as is. I might leave her alone. I like the comb though. Perhaps you could get the Star Leotard later. Stripe chest look. I'll actually go with that instead. Spike. Like that one. Go with that. Alright. Character creation over. It's showtime. Time to take you guys on a real trip. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here as well.
What? Those monsters are in my father's room? Father!
Well, this became a very dicey situation. Alright, I might have to take a minute to relearn these controls. SO to lock on, R button to lock. Alright, let's... There we go. I don't like these odds. You, go away. You're in my... Haha! I still got it. Kind of. It'll just take me a minute to learn the controls properly. I had to take a minute and remap them. Oh dear. All dark and brooding. Where are you going? Coward. That's definitely not good either.
Dear Mother, how are you? I'm doing fine. So much has happened that I don't know where to start. Well, I guess it's easiest to start at the beginning. It all began that night. Right, that night of the storm.
Freaking action RPG. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just, it was more on the dungeon crawler aspect, which you'll see a whole lot later. Shake it off, bud. Shake it off. That's what I do every time I go into work and it's raining.
Soaked.
Haha, Max. Pretty early today, huh?
Yeah, I guess, but take a look at this. Haha, ta-da! Check this out. I got a ticket for Flotsam's circus troupe.
Oh, good for you. Your dad's not gonna try to stop you?
He said I could go.
Well, you'd better finish your work quick then, huh?
Right.
Hey, Max, what's that you got there?
What's this? Father gave it to me yesterday. Always wear it, he said. It's pretty old. I don't know what it is.
Fancy jewelry. Suddenly wear it for no reason. Got it.
Well, can I get started?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Gable's vacuum is set up below. Go to it, lad.
Leave it to me.
So R2 is my. Oh man, that is inverse control. I have to take a minute. That. So start my first save. Oh, it still has my old stuff on here. What do you know? I'm gonna overwrite it. I'm starting fresh. Back. See, but like, just take a minute and look around here, guys. Like, this is a really comfy feeling. Like, this is technically a repair shop, but at the same time, it's got that really cozy feeling. Like somebody could live here and like very easily make it like a home work situation. Yes. Games notebook. Yes, I think I will need that. Pretty important book, but you can't tell right now. Okay, I'll come back. Wrench, yes. Alright, let's start fixing.
Okay, here we go.
Like Pokemon
This is
XD.
the Anbar Type 2 here.
Probably because they
This
both
is a
came out
pretty
roughly about the
specialized
same
hose
time.
attachment.
Like early
Oh,
2000s
I
or
see the
so.
problem.
Well,
Clowns.
is everybody ready?
Why does it have to be clowns?
Let's have a stupendous show tonight.
I mean, I remember it's clowns, but
Make this a
why?
night of wonder. All right, all. Let's get to work.
Oh no! It's about to start. Why the heck didn't it go off?
That's alarm clocks for you.
He's gone?
Alarm clocks almost never work when you need them to. Let's be real, guys. I mean, I understand a carnival theme is supposed to have like that really festive vibe to it, but this is a real vibe. I'm just saying, guys. Like, really? I really hate that the original soundtrack of the game doesn't quite have the same doesn't have the same feel that the that the in-game does. Double check too. Hold on. Gotta change. There we go. That's better. Don't like it. Okay, the up and down is still kind of funny, but I can make that work. I forgot how sensitive it was with walking, too. He's already at full speed. Alright, Mr. Clown.
You need a ticket to go in.
Alright, here you go, bud. Let me in.
Here you go. Hey,
Yoink.
my ticket! Oh, I can't believe it. Of all the...
That was quick. Well, no circus for me, I guess. Find the boy that ran away with the ticket. Check with the people in town. Check some. Rotation reverse. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. Okay, now I'm happy with this camera. Can I talk to you?
Did you see a little red-headed kid come this way?
Nope. You see anything?
He headed towards City Hall.
Well, that's a start. You help me at all? Well, no, you're not gonna help me. Okay. What about you?
Did you see a red-haired boy run by?
Oh, yes. Just now.
Well, that doesn't
I'm
help me
certain
anyway.
I saw him heading that way.
Okay, well, that kind of helps.
Sorry, but I have to go to City Hall.
She says while she's standing right in front of it, like... It's right there. Alright, whatever, I guess. Press R2 to switch to... Oh yeah, you can. If I recall correctly, there's this whole legend around why there's two moons as well, and I don't quite remember if it was explained in 1 or in 2.
Hey, did you see a red-haired boy?
Me? No, sorry.
I see.
Well, that doesn't help me any.
Huh?
Hold on a second.
Hey!
Busted!
Gotcha! Hand over the ticket.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to see the circus. Just once.
You really want to see the circus, huh?
I'm sorry. I promise I'll never do it again.
All right. Here you go.
Huh?
Come on, it's yours.
Really?
Yep. I'll go see it next time.
Wow, thanks! Really?
You'd better go now. It's about to start.
Okay.
You're a
see
good
ya.
kid you are, Max. I mean, that was kind of sudden too, but like, even then. Well, no circus for me.
What?
You passed. You might be able to do it.
What?
Hurry! The first door is waiting for you.
What is going on?
Kind of freaked out too there, Max. And they left the ticket behind. So, I guess circus for me? Alright, well, I guess I'm going in.
You need a ticket to go in. You need... You
Okay.
need...
There we go.
Here it is.
Hurry up, it's starting.
Yep.
One reason why crowds suck, let's be real,
Hey,
guys.
this is no good. I can't see anything.
If they don't want people finding back ways, then they just need to make space for everybody. It's not that hard.
Wow.
I. Elephant. Alright, what are you gonna do with the elephant? I don't know about you guys, but if someone taught an elephant how to literally backflip in the air and punt a ball, I'd be really concerned. Just what are they teaching this elephant? And what kind of steroids did they give it? I mean, yeah, that was a good trick, but see, now I have questions on the elephant. What did you do to the elephant?
Well, Mayor, you're certainly looking well. Well, if it isn't my favorite roasted chestnuts! You thought of everything.
Huh? What's this about?
Oh, this is good. Indeed, this town's chestnuts are the best!
Is that the mayor?
So, have you found it?
Well, not yet. You see...
Now, Mayor, are you really trying hard enough? You know what happens if you don't find the stone, don't you?
Wait, please, I'm trying my best to find it. Please, I need more time.
Ah, well, what can you do? But remember, this chance is your last!
Are you sure that the stone is in this town?
Oh, yes. Oh, I can smell it. I can smell it! The stone is in this town! Absolutely!
But we've turned the mine inside out looking for it. We couldn't find a trace.
That had to have been immensely painful.
Oh, sweet Mayor, we've been through this. I've told you before, I don't tolerate excuses!
This is why people don't like clowns. As if Joker wasn't enough of a reason to.
Ah, but the people in this town really are living the sweet life, huh? Not knowing anything of the outside world, they're lost in their carefree lives. With such a pack of ninnies, no wonder they can't find a single stone.
You can't tell anyone about the outside. There'd be a panic. Then no one would be able to look for your stone.
Oh, I know, Mayor Pooh. We'll keep it our little secret. Huh?
Oops.
Darn! Who are you?
Max?
Nobody.
Run! Hurry!
Oh, bye.
Wake up, fools!
Found in a box. Even more reason to hate
Did you
him.
see it? The red stone around that boy's neck! We found it at last! Well, what are you waiting for? Get him!
Uh-oh. Well, this is a problem. I mean, you'd think for acrobats like clowns, they'd be able to, like, vault that gap or something, but, you know, plot armor. Uh-oh. Aye. You know, I'd love to kind of be like an audience in the show too. They're like, where'd this kid come from? Like, is he part of the act? Punt? Okay, that's just poor timing, my guy. That one's on you. Oh. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy up the pole. Man, y'all are dedicated, I'm just saying. Okay, well, you guys think more weight's gonna do something? Oh. Oh. Hey! Just take the fame, kid. Just take the fame. Don't question it. Just do it. Or not. Oh, well. Better than nothing, I guess. There we go. Hiya! Alright, which one are you coming closer? Alright, if you're not coming to me, I'm coming to you. Just imagine being the audience too. They just watch this kid to beat up like 4 clowns with a wrench. Battle item, battle wrench. Cool. I now recognize I can use it as a weapon.
All right, I guess this will have to do.
I was waiting for somebody to mention that, Atma. Yes, this is the same voice actor that did Robin in Teen Titans. Actually, this game had a lot of really big voice actors. It was like an all-star cast. Big Robo-Clown. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, boys, shall we begin then?
Run, squirrel! Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. The sheer jumping force of this kid.
Do these guys ever quit?
Alright, bring it! Oh yeah, I forgot I could do this. Bumped! I wonder if he ended up being okay. Oh, hello.
Oh, what now?
Hand over the pendant, boy! Hand it over now, and I'll let you leave here alive.
Am I allowed a second opinion?
What, this?
Don't do it!
Oh look, it's a weird kid again. Never mind.
Well, what's it gonna be?
Can I call a friend?
It's too important.
Hand it over! Now!
No, I won't.
Well, with you being so insistent, I'm gonna say no,
If
though.
it's going to be that way, then die!
Big Robo-Clown. Don't think, just run.
Oh, nowhere to run now, boy!
Oh, bye.
You idiot! He's behind you! Quickly, after him!
Of course, the big weakness to all these big hunking chunks like this is the fact that if you run right under them, they're like completely blind to you. You obviously didn't look very hard, but, okay, I guess. Cool.
I was so scared then, but in a way it was really fun. I mean, every boring day had been just the same for me. But this was the beginning of a real adventure.
I'll take my chances, racing time, rewriting the book for all to see. On my own, I can ride the winds of change to heal a broken time, a broken world. In the dark, a candle
Brave Fencer Musashi. Can't say I have.
to light
Tomohito Nishiura. That man is a legend.
back home. It's a dream.
Fun fact, by the way, Tomohito Nishiura has gone on to work on other titles like Xenoblade. That's why its music is always a banger.
Give me strength to open up the door. Only the strong ones can stand the test of time. Caught in between these two worlds.
I'll have to look into that one, Atma. Thanks for the heads up. Oh man, that time is changing hits me every time. Love this game.
You okay?
What's up, dungeon friend?
You saved me, Donnie.
Hey, don't mention it. What happened out there? Who are those guys?
Flotsam circus troupe.
Why are they after you?
I think I heard something I wasn't supposed to.
I think that's
I
kind
didn't
of
understand
obvious.
exactly what was going on, but I needed to get out of there.
Yeah.
Donnie, what is this place?
It's the underground water channel supplying the town.
Really?
So I'm in the sewers, basically.
You could also call it my secret base.
Wow. I never knew this place existed.
Not too bad, huh? Those clowns will never find you here. Just relax.
Got a nice vibe though, like it's a quiet, peaceful place. Mechanical. After Donnie, the story will continue. They want to save your property. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. I always forgot how crazy sensitive his running was. Well, I don't think there's a way I can fix that either. Okay. That's good. Around. See, Donnie was working on something down here. No. Well, yeah, I probably should ask before I just start running.
So what are you gonna do?
What's that place over there?
Underground water channel. So this goes outside of the town, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I would think so.
Hey, Max, what are you cooking up?
Something's going on in the outside world.
What?
That Flotsam guy is threatening the mayor.
What? Why?
I'm not sure myself.
He wants a pretty red stone around my neck.
The whole town's living a carefree life, not knowing what's going on outside. What does that mean?
Don't know.
Excellent
After
question.
Blackstone Railroad went out of service, no one's left town. And it's not that they don't leave. They can't leave. The reason why the mayor doesn't open the gate must be so that people don't see the outside world.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm going.
Huh? Going? Where?
Out.
You're not thinking of...
Yes, yes I am.
I'm leaving this town.
Oh, hold on there. Seriously? But there's all kinds of weird creatures in the channel.
I'll be fine.
I'm
I
aware.
usually use this to fix things, but it makes a pretty good weapon, too.
No use trying to stop you now. Hold on a sec.
I wonder how long Donnie was in there. It never actually specifies.
Voila!
Gun?
This is...
My baby. But you'll need it more. It gets a little rowdy around here, so this guy'll come in handy.
Cool.
Wow, really?
I'm armed.
It's okay.
I'm packing heat.
Take it already.
Thank you, Donnie.
Gun. Aimed classic gun. I want to get in the stance and...
And with this one, we can keep in touch while you're in the channel. If you get lost, just give me a buzz.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Watch yourself, Max.
Donnie's a real... Yes, Donnie is a real G.
Donnie, I need you to keep an eye out for those guys here.
No problem. Whatever you say. Huh? Hey, why do I have to stand watch?
Because you gave me your gun and you can't really defend yourself down here.
Sorry, Donnie, but I want to see the outside world with my own eyes.
That's fair, I guess.
Chapter 1. To the Outside World.
Outside world. I swear, every theme in this game is a banger. Still hate that the official soundtrack does, missed out on the ambience that the game produces.
Max, come in. How's everything?
It's dark and it's cold and it's wet.
It's like a maze. Could get lost pretty easy here.
Okay, then you need to get the floor map. It should be in one of the treasure chests on that floor.
I mean, I kind of would have
The
figured
floor
that.
map will show you where you are on a particular floor. Shouldn't get lost if you have one. If you don't want the map in the way, you can turn it off and on with the select button.
Cool.
Alright, in order to get to the next floor, you need
Right.
that gate key. I think the one in the channel's called the key handle.
Okay.
If you use the gate key on the exit for that floor, you can get to the next floor.
Wet and creepy sewer. Yeah, I think that was kind of the
Just
goal.
keep doing that, and you can get to the end of any dungeon. Got it, Max?
I mean, that's kind of the general gist of it, but
Roger,
sure.
Donnie. I'll give it a try.
So this is where the dungeon crawler effect comes into play for this game. Because the other fun fact about this game, for those that have not played, is every time you enter a dungeon, even if it's the same level over and over, you will never get the same map twice. They randomly generate a floor every time you pick it. Into the next floor, you must clear the current floor by getting the gate key from a monster and using it to exit. Fulfill certain conditions, you will receive medals. Conditions, by choosing move on the main menu, select the floor. Okay. Cool. Rat! Frog. Dead frog. Oh, hello. Are you done moving? I can do this all day, my guy. So can you. I hate clowns. Found bread. Holding R1. Okay, so it's defend and throw. Box. Throw. Nothing. Okay, well I found the exit. No key though. Off I go. Cool. Open the box. Panel key. It's a key, but not the key I want. Let's keep looking around. Box. Bro. Box. Get a drink. Ooh. Use those later. Oh, hello. I'm gonna give the choice to you. You wanna do this long range or get close? Okay, you're getting close. Pumped. I love that animation Max has when he knocks something down. He just kicks it. Oh, hello. One thing I also really like too. Oh yeah, no kidding. I hated that in the old game. Bread. Get the bread. One thing I also kind of like too is that the weapons kind of had proximity to a point. It was much more notable with the long range, like the gun, where if you hit them at a certain range, it didn't do a whole lot, but the closer you got, it actually did more damage. Matt. Oh, hello. Are you stuck? Would you like some help? Pumped. First synthesis points weapon increases your level up. Make weapons stronger, spectrumize items, combine items. Combine synth spear. They have nothing differently depending on the item. Cool. So red. What's this? Bat. Well, I found the key. Pumped. Go this way. I forgot I could do this. Hey you! Get your friend back! Alright, thanks for stopping in, Hub. Red. Magic crystal. Show you where monsters and treasure are. Ooh. I'm gonna go for an exploding trap, because that way I can fix the other two. Cool! That worked. Ooh. Box. Oh. Okay. Seems to be locked. You don't say. Well, now it's not. Come here, bud. Ow. Cool. Fully restored health and cure all sound. Thank you! Now I don't have to use an item. I appreciate that. Hair powder. Yep. Throw. Frog.
Alright, that takes care of you guys.
Floor has been cleared. Ox. Well, that's kind of useless to me now. Alright, well, off I go. Oh wait, no, hold on. Over this way. I forgot the exit and the entrance were like really close to each other on this map. And even this peaceful theme after you clear all the levels is real nice too. It's a total vibe. And I'm gonna crank that open. Before I do leave, though, work on organizing all my stuff. This goes down here. There. He's here. Let's see. The first step to any RPG game is you organize your inventory. If you don't have an organized inventory, you're never gonna know where anything is. Beard finish without healing goal. Cool.
I pressed on, deeper into the underground channel. I had said I want to see the outside world to Donnie, but there was a second reason why I wanted to go there.
I don't seem very impressed.
Monsieur. Bon appétit.
I don't seem very impressed.
Max, where are your manners? Eat your dinner.
Father? I'd like to ask you something.
Yes? What is it?
First of all, why are you over at the other end of the table?
About Mother. Where is she?
I'm sure I told you this already. Your mother is doing important work far away from here.
Doesn't explain a lot.
But what's the name of the town, and what job is she doing there?
It's nothing for you to worry about. Eat your dinner.
You never tell that to a kid because they're only gonna make it. They're only gonna worry about it
This is
getting
just how
worse.
you always are. You don't tell me anything.
Young sir! Would you like me to go after him, sir?
Leave him be.
Off I go. Let's save first, so I can keep my progress. Cool. Battle with rats. Man, where's my buddy Leon when I need? Like, this would be his level. This would be his jam. Oh, hello. Oh. Sentient balloons. Who knew they had to be something you had to worry about? That's handy to have. So why are you tagging me from over there? Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you filled with helium or malice? I'm gonna assume malice. Dead bet. Cool. 2 for 2. Hunk of copper. Yeah, that doesn't seem like much, but that's an incredibly valuable tool. Okay, hold on. I'm actually gonna wonder if I liked the lateral. Oops. No. I like the lateral up and down a whole lot better. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. Hunter crystals. Pear powder. Or a pear powder. I will always take more of that. Let's go this way. Never mind, I'm not going that way. Go this way. Alright, well there's the exit. Bat. Open the box. More copper. Oh, hello. I can hit me from here. Oh. I figure I can hit him with the boxer. Dead End Simulator looking really fun. Yeah, no kidding. Trust me, just wait till start to the higher end levels. This one's like super easy to navigate, but in like the later game levels, there's like a ton of dead ends in them. Or if you get really lucky, you'll get a really long map. Like for real though, like the random generation of this is both a blessing and a curse. Like on one hand, you have very diverse map coverage, so you'll never have the same level twice, which means you have endless replayability. On the other hand though, that does also mean that if you find yourself really lucky, you could end up with a really long hallway that's super straightforward. Or you could end up with a really big labyrinth that is just nothing but dead ends. And there's almost no in between. That's honestly something I love about this game. Because even if you have to come back and farm for levels, you almost never have the same run twice. Which keeps things fresh, and I appreciate that about a game. Oh, found the gate key. Hey, you! Darn. You moved. Ow. That hurt. Dead frog. That. Now, honestly, one thing that's really going to be a pain is when I come back and replay these levels, are the ones that are like items only. Because those are like super grind heavy, and you don't get items super often. Well, I take that back. Like, you get items for such all the time, but you burn through them really fast. You have to like be able to time and make them on the on the go without having to stop. Because if you leave a level, you have to start it all over. Take this with me. Alright, who's getting the box? You're getting the box. Darn. Ow. Hunt. Okay, that's a ripoff. I don't like that. Alright, where have I been? Okay. Labyrinth over on the other end. Yoink! Okay, back this way. Up.
All right, that takes care of you guys.
Is there anything in this room? There was nothing in this room. I rest my case. There are some rooms that'll just be a total labyrinth, yet you walk in the room, there's nothing there. I can't tell you how many times in previous playthroughs of this game, it would have a map generated where you needed a key to access a room. You'd spend the entire run looking for where they put the key, you open the door, and there's nothing in it. No enemies, no chests, not even destructible items sometimes. And it makes you wonder, then why did I go get the key? Yeah, see, like right here, I still have the channel key. Let's go. Like. Yes. Ghost in the channel. Beat all monsters using only Max's right-hand weapon. No gun. No promise.
The underground channel ran on ahead in front of me. And as I pressed on, heading deeper, for some reason, thoughts of you, Mother, filled my head. I don't remember your face now, Mother, even though I must have seen it so often when I was small.
Max, can you hear me? Max!
Oh, sorry, spacing out. New phone, who
How's
dis?
it going? Made any progress?
Yeah, looks like I made it to the next floor.
The further in you go, the stronger the monsters are. Watch out!
I would kind of figure that after a while.
To defeat the stronger monsters, you'll need to strengthen your weapons.
mean, I kind of figured that'd be a thing, but...
If you want to know more about combat, give me a buzz. I'll help you out whenever you want.
Cool.
Select Help from the main menu and choose what you want to know about from the list. You're a great fighter, so you'll pick up on it in no time.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Okay, be careful.
Ghost in the channel. In the box. Bones. Alright, well thanks for stopping in, Ruben. You're a total G, my guy. You get some sleep now. Nice. Oh. Ow. That was kind of painful. I want to eat a piece of bread. Gotcha. I'm actually going to genuinely try getting this one with the right arm only. Gun repair. Yes, please. I see you over there. Ow. Okay, that wasn't even nice. You had, like, no lead up to that one. Well, there's the exit. Well, that explains Ghost in the channel. I forgot all about you guys. Let's see what's over this way. Box. Grab. Box. Grab. Back. That's helpful. I will take that. At least I know the charge attack will hit you. That. Alright, let's try this again, buddy. Come on. That's it. Ow. Okay, so you guys can just do that with no lead up. That is good to know. That is very good to know. I will always use more of those. Box. Nothing in the box. There's just a single balloon over here. There's the floor key. Looking so far. There's a little chunk over there that I'm missing. Hello. Get down! Thank you. Hey, that's helpful to have. Probably a little late, but I can make use of it. Those are handy. Grab. Grab. So you're a long way down there. I'm not carrying this box all the way. This works. Does work. Ha 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 ha.
All right, that takes care of you guys.
Also, remember what I said earlier about the long hallways? I rest my case. Repair. Stuff. Yeah. Ooh, what's this? Outer wrench 4 looks painful. Actually wondering if I should go for the true battle wrench and work my way around. Give me a chance for some extra points. Yeah, let's do that. Need to use easier in battle. I just stuck some hammer drums on the end of it. Attack and cycle. I'll hold on to my stuff. Okay. Go up and then over to the far corner. Up over there. Move to channel pump room.
What's all
Big
this?
empty room. The big empty room. That's your first red flag.
Donnie, I've come into a big chamber. There are what look like tanks everywhere.
Ah, that'll be the pump room. The pumps in there are used to draw water from the lake on the outside. You're not far from the outside now.
Gotcha. Thanks, Donnie. I gotta keep going.
Alright, well, off I go. Elephant!
What the?
Oh, hello. Hi. Welcome.
Flotsam!
Hello again.
How are we today, Max?
It was just fine until you showed up. You just came and ruined my day, my guy.
I'm quite proud of you for coming all this way through the sewers, you know.
Kinda wonder how you made it down here, bud.
By the way, Max, I took the liberty of doing a little research on you.
Stalker much?
For someone like you, living in a big house with no wants and needs, don't you think it would be a waste if you threw your life away fighting us?
That's awfully presumptuous and borderline stalker behavior.
How sad indeed would your dear sweet mother be?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second there, my guy. Hold
What do you know
on.
about my mother?
Now you're hitting a low blow.
If you want to know more, give me that red stone. I've got plenty to tell you.
He's bluffing.
Well,
No.
No, no way. I'll find my mother myself. I don't need help from anyone like you.
ah, you stinking brat! You'll regret this, I guarantee. Take care of them, my darling Linda.
Oh dear. Oh, that's handy. Do I believe clowns are from outer space? I would not be surprised if they are. Ow. Nope.
It's no good. I'll never win like this.
Yeah, obviously.
Now then, Max, what will it be?
Ah. Uh-oh.
Pow!
What?
It's the boy!
You all right?
It's the boy!
Cedric, you finally completed the ride pod.
It's the boy!
It's Steve.
It's
Still working on the
Steve!
front, but it's got plenty of punch.
Bring it, Steve! Get him!
Well, did you learn your lesson or what?
Bring it!
That's amazing, Cedric.
My sweet Linda couldn't compete with this one.
Good.
Oh, we got an ornery son of a gun here. Come back for more, huh?
Bring it!
Take that.
Oh.
What the?
Well, what's wrong?
Actually, I didn't finish that energy backpack yet. I don't think she can handle any more fighting for now. Hop in, Max.
Get on, but it can't move.
Don't you worry about that. There's enough juice to get us back. Come on, get in.
Cedric's the real G.
Linda, get them!
No.
Adios.
Oh my, they've run off. But poor sports.
This is the man who rezzed his elephant after I gave it the beatdown.
Morning, Sonny. Sleep well?
Yeah. Tell me, Cedric, why do you think those circus goons are after this pendant of mine?
That's an
Who
excellent
knows,
question.
kid? But if what you overheard in that room at the circus is true, then Mayor Need definitely knows something. I'll talk to Need and see if I can get anything out of him. Just don't let that pendant fall into their hands, no matter what.
Got it, boss.
I know. I won't give this up.
Alrighty then. This thing here is the problem. We gotta finish this up and take care of that pesky elephant.
All you need is an energy pack, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Well, Cedric, how about letting me handle that?
You telling me that you want to make the energy pack for Steve?
Yeah, I want to give it a try.
Alrighty then. The job's yours.
All right.
Cool. That was easy.
You know, inventing stuff is pretty tough work. I'll show you how, Sonny, so you listen carefully.
Okay.
Inventing something involves taking several ideas and combining them together to create something new.
Obviously.
And ideas are, well, the building blocks for inventions. By combining the ideas inside your head, you can invent brand new stuff. Now here's some hints on making an energy pack for Steve. A milk can, pipes, and a belt.
Okay.
Now this is
Simple
where
enough.
things get tricky, see? Next, you gotta do some collecting. Here, use this camera. You can use it to capture stuff. First, press the square button to ready the camera. Then you can capture whatever you see in the viewfinder. Use the left analog stick to control the direction. And to take a picture, just press the square button again. Pretty simple, huh?
Straightforward. I can make that happen. In dungeons, you can only use a camera when equipped with an active item.
Now you better go take some pictures. You need to look for a milk can, pipes, and a belt. You should be able to find them all within a couple 100 feet of here. You ready, Max? You're on your own now. Go get them.
Give me that. This down here. That's gonna stay there basically forever. This... So... They weren't all far. Alright, well, I mean, I've been going on for close to about 2-3 hours now in terms of total stream. I think this is a good place to stop. So, I'd say we're already off to a good start. I did my introductory video, kind of talking about myself and a little bit about me. Took a little bit of a break, and here we are with the game. I'm honestly having a lot of fun with this, and I would love to pick this back up. I may or may not pick this up again tomorrow for a part 2 and just kind of keep it going, so that I can establish maybe making Sundays a proper stream day. But otherwise, I've been having fun with this, and I hope you guys have been as well. I had a lot of fun streaming just in general. Like, I was super nervous leading out to it, and making this, like, making sure I had everything up to date and set up and ready to go. But, you guys were an absolutely great cast as well, having you all stop in, especially for so long. Like I said, I may or may not pick this back up again tomorrow. Again, establish that schedule. I'll keep you guys posted on Twitter and on Discord if you guys follow me in either one of those two places. But with all that being said, once again, thank you so much for being so welcoming and starting me off on the right foot, and being so warm with that and having fun with me. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Metarot News Network, signing out.